season for the VIU Mariners. Tetsu Nishida takes strike one looking against Andrew Clausen, making his return to the Mariners lineup. Here comes the 0-1. Taken low by Olfert. This is a PBA team that gets their runs in bunches. We saw during both games of Saturday's doubleheader, the Mariners taking an early lead both times, and PBA going on massive runs in the middle stages of the game. Here's the 2-1 from Clausen. Strike two called, framed nicely by Olfert. Clausen looking to put it away. Here comes the 2-2. Taken low and the count is full. Two. Takes ball 4. And PBA's first plate appearance results in a walk. Turner takes strike one looking. PBA hasn't had much difficulty getting runners on base. And oftentimes they string a bunch of walks together and then they get that massive shot near the warning track or perhaps beyond the wall that really blows the game open. The 1-1 taken down low by Olfert. Here comes the 2-1, and away goes Nishida as Turner blasted back to left center field. Bowie going back, it's off the wall, and Nishida's got wheels. He's coming all the way home, and the Dogs draw first blood. An RBI double for Will Turner. Kane next up for PBA. Todd Hubka really likes putting these three in the first three spots of his lineup, and you saw why just there. Here's the 1-0. Fouled into the catch fence. Here's the 1-1. Right down the middle for strike two. The 1-2 from Clausen, taken up high. Strong plate discipline from O'Kane. Two. Got him! First K of the affair for Andrew Clausen as Nate Garth takes the plate. First pitch with Turner waiting on second, strike one called. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball, fielded at second, throw on to first is in time as Turner advances to third. Jackson LaSalle, the utility man. Starting in left field today for the Dogs. And it's a wild pitch. Olfert's got to hurry. Throw home, not in time, and the Dogs double their lead. Fouled off. Swings through it for strike two. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled well over the fence and possibly into the sand pit. The 1-2 again. Got him! Mariners get out to the top of the first, only down 2. Not ideal, especially this early in the game, but not insurmountable by any means. You're watching VIU Mariners baseball on Game Changer. despair and an 0-2 count. He sacrifices the body and moves to first. First pitch from Bavis. Taken down low, and a wild pitch away goes Bowers to second. There'll be no throw. Here's the 1-0. Going back to left field, LaSalle back at the wall. He makes the catch, forcing Bowers to speed back to second. Here's Trevor Nickel. On another wild pitch, Bowers on his way to third. Similar start to McLaughlin's at bat. 1-0. Fouled off and nearly into the booth. Takes it down low, another wild pitch. Sean Bavis still trying to find his control, and the count is now 2-1. Bouncing ball. He'll get it onto first in time, but Bowers comes home. Or does he? They're calling it a foul. It didn't get to first base without crossing the line. The count is 2-2. My apologies, folks. Here comes the 2-2. Same result as last time. That one undeniably a foul. Here comes the 2-2 from Bavis. Bouncing ball into the gap. Bowers comes home. Nickel reaches first, and the Mariners are on the board. Mariners cut the lead in half on an RBI single from Trevor Nickel. James Joyce, the veteran, in the fourth spot for VIU. Glad to have you with us on Game Changer, and another wild pitch as Nickel heads to second. Pleasure to have you here on a fine Sunday morning in the Harbor City. Here's the 1-0. Taken inside for strike one. Taken outside. Good patience from Joyce. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, trying to get it into the gap. Throw on to first is in time, but Nickel's on his way to third. Two outs with the runner on third. as Tyler Olfert takes the plate. First pitch from Davis. Taken down low. Looked like it was in the zone from our angle. But then again, we're not the ones behind the plate. Here's the 1-0. The count on Olfert. Pitch from Davis. Bouncing ball. Olfert's got to hurry. Throw to first. Is in time, negating the run from Nickel. As close as it could have gotten. Nathan Wedgwood's understandably incensed with the call. But he's got some reason to smile as the Mariners get one back and cut the lead in half going into the second. You're watching VIU Mariners baseball on Game Changer. Takes the first pitch outside the zone for ball one. Taken down low. Another ball to Larkin. Larkin well ahead in the count now, 3-0. Lawson's got to find the zone. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Matthew Larkin. Here's Willis Takahashi. Take it inside for strike one. The 0-1 from Clausen. Bouncing ball. Fielded at short. Throw to second. One onto first. There'll be no throw. But one out is better than none. First pitch to Aiden McKenzie is the ball. Clausen doing a good job at keeping batters honest. Here's the 1-1. Taken up high by Olfert. Here's the 2-1. Swings through it for strike 2. 2-2 from Clausen. Take it up high, the count is full. Taken inside. Takahashi legs it to second. Not like he would have had to hustle, as it's a walk to McKenzie. Here's Nathan Webb. First pitch inside the zone, good frame by Olfert. Runners on first and second. PBA looking to restore the 2-run lead, perhaps exceed it. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off into the VIU dugout. Seems to be a popular spot for foul balls this series. Here's the 0-2. Fouled again, guess where? The count remains 0-2 on Webb. The pitch from Clausen. Taken well outside, a wild pitch. Both runners go. Both teams have been burned by the wild pitch this series. We go back to Friday night. It became a 1-run game on a wild pitch from Luke Hatcher. And Ryder Duncan put it away that same at-bat. Here's the 1-2. Into the gap. That's going to bring at least 2 home. They'll settle for 1, as it's the pinch runner Tommy Davidson who restores the 2-run lead for PBA. Fresh count for Nishida. He tries for a bunt. 1-0 from Clausen. Taken outside again. From Clausen. Hit but foul. Just a few more inches to the right and it would have been seismic. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball. And it's foul. Landon Bowers wise to signal for it. As you could see it just creeping towards third base. Here's the 2-2. Clausen the pitch. Taken up high, the count is full. Payoff pitch. Runners go. Bouncing ball. Fielder's choice to first. That's going to bring another home. This time it's Aiden McKenzie. Here's Will Turner, bootstrap Bill. Takes strike one looking. Here's the 0-1 from Clausen. Fouled into the fence. Clausen well ahead in the count. Tried to finish the job there, but it was taken just a bit high. Turner showing life. Two strikes, two outs. Got him! Dogs having their way early. But the Mariners found their punch in the first inning. Can they sustain it in the second? You're watching VIU Mariners baseball on Game Changer.
I
And the first pitch magnetizes to his left shoulder. He's on his way to first. Here's Tyler Lazinski. Fouls off the first pitch. The freshman out of Beaumont, Alberta. He's 5'9", 175. 0-1 from Bavis. Taken outside in a wild pitch, and Duncan legs it to second. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. Strike two called. As it just crossed the plate. 1-2. Taken inside, strike three called. Lots of new faces in the back half of the lineup. Lazimski up just now. Edwards currently at the plate. Josh Fisher on deck for the Mariners. Here's the 0-1. Take it inside for strike two. Wouldn't be surprised if Edwards decides to swing here. He was wise not to there. 1-2 from Bavis. Swings through it. Or he makes weak contact. Throw on to first means he doesn't reach base either way. Josh Fisher takes ball one. Lines it into right. Runners on the corners. And Landon Bowers has a chance to bring home another run for VIU. You see the Dogs not really watching the foul poles. As Takahashi bobbles the first pitch for a 1-0. nicely by Takahashi for strike one. 1-1. 2-1 the count. 2-1. He can afford to get a little reckless. And a liner into left field, and it's dropped! LaSalle couldn't get to it in time. Duncan comes home to score. Another run right behind him. It's a one-run game. It's the Roxmen. The 2 RBI double from Landon Bowers. Duncan and Fisher both come home. And the tying run is on second. Here's Alex McLaughlin. Pitch one taken well outside. And he's calling a mountain visit with Sean Bavis. Good amount of room in right center as McLaughlin takes ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Swings through it for strike one. One swings through it again. McLaughlin getting a little restless. Will not be surprised if Bavis goes for a fastball down the middle. He knows McLaughlin likes to swing. And the count is full. Full count with Bowers on second. PBA trying to maintain their lead. Here's the pitch from Bavis. Strike 3 called! Mariners getting back into it. They found that spark. Can they maintain it? You're watching VIU Mariners baseball on Game Changer. First to face Andrew Clausen. First pitch hits the dirt and the count is 1-0. Swing and a pop-up into shallow foul territory. Nearly caught as Bowers and Olfert converged on it. Declan O'Kane, he'll have to settle for a strike, but given how close that came to being an out, he'll gladly take it. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball fouled again. Here's the 1-2 from Clausen. Ball 2 called. Bouncing ball fielded at second. Throw to first, seamless operation. Mariners have done a good job forcing PBA's offense to spread their runs out across multiple innings so far. As you saw just yesterday, they like to go on big runs. Swing and a miss for Nate Garth.
Here we go.
And it only takes 3 for Clausen to get Garth. First pitch in the dirt. Jackson LaSalle takes ball 2. Here's the 2-0 from Clausen. Clausen's got to find the zone. Couldn't find it there as LaSalle takes the walk to first. Matthew Larkin, the designated hitter for the Dogs today. Lines it, going out to right, backpedaling forward is Fisher for the fly out. Scoreless top of the third for Dr. Claw and the Mariners. Now it's their turn to take the field, only down by 1. You're watching VIU Mariners baseball on Game Changer. over nickel. Takes the first pitch for a strike. With the second, the count is even.
Here, that was yesterday.
Here's the 1-1. Takes it inside, strike two. Swings through it for strike three. Here's James Joyce. Dangerously close to getting hit there.
The headphone but that speaker icon.
Bouncing ball.
So that green.
Foul ball, but it took its time getting there.
So the other thing you can do, and I'll talk to Trevor.
Count is 1-1 on Joyce. 1-1 from Bavis. Swing a pop-up, going out to center. Backpedaling forward is Nathan Webb, and he makes the catch.
They might, it gets a little weird at home when you're watching and all.
Tyler Alford takes strike one.
So the other thing is, in between.
That one fouled into the catch fence.
It could be done, but that's the only way we can do it.
Use the 0-2. Taken down low. Here's the 1-2 to Olfert. Hit him in the leg. Twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bavis looking to put it away. And he does! He gets Olfert to bite. And there'll be no runs in the third inning, but still a tense affair as the Mariners defense looks to hold strong. You're watching VIU Mariners baseball on Game Changer. Fourth inning underway. Takahashi, a pop-up into the dugout again, and into the stands. And they're kind enough to give it back. How lovely. 1-1. Pop-up again. Is it going into the stands again? Doesn't look like it. Here's the 1-2. Ball 2. Here's the 2-2. And a base hit to right center. Tommy Davidson coming in to be his stunt double. Aiden McKenzie looking to bring him home. Tries to go for a bunt, but it's taken up high. And the rain is starting to come down in Nanaimo. Right down the middle for strike one. 1-1. And a bunt from McKenzie. Throw out to first. And safe. They're saying Duncan missed the tag. He's furious. So too is Wedgwood. Nathan Wedgwood trying to plead his case.
No, you're all good.
The call will stand, but Nathan Wedgwood understandably irate. And it's overturned! Aiden McKenzie, I am so sorry. A successful sack bunt as he advances Davidson to second. And now Todd Hupka's getting into it with the umpire.
You're wrong.
You have nice mittens.
Todd Hupka, very nice mittens, as someone in the crowd pointed out. They go nice with his outfit. 1-0 with Davidson on second. Here's Nathan Webb. Taken low. Olford had trouble holding on to it. As the Mariners battle both the Dogs and the Elements. Here's the 1-0 from Clausen. And a wild pitch. Away goes Davidson to third. Potentially trying to come home, but he didn't think he'd get this far, and he stays at third. have to be extra cautious. Here's the 2-0 from Clausen. Taken outside, another wild pitch. Davidson to hold at third. And Nathan Webb in batter's paradise. Here's a 3-0. Taken down low. Ball 4 for number 4. And PBA has runners on the corners. And they're calling a mound visit for Andrew Clausen. He's done a good job containing PBA so far.
So does the catcher get a run?
Come on, Andrew.
So when Tommy comes in, he starts to run?
Oh, well, let's go. Right there, right there. Good job, Dave. Good job.
Here's Tetsu Nishida. First pitch from Clausen. He tries a bunt. He's got to throw it home, and it's in time! Oh, safe! Oldford missed the tag! And that'll do it for Clausen. Pitching change for VIU. Ben Mason coming into the game. His first pitch to Turner. Swung on and lifted into the catch fence. Wolford quick to get it. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a pop-up, going back to right field. Duncan able to make the catch.
Here we go. That's two.
Here's Declan O'Kane. First pitch inside the zone. Wolford had to reach across for it. Here's the 1-1 from Mason. Here's the 2-1. Taken down low. The count is now 3-1 on Declan O'Kane. Here's the 3-1. 2 outs. Mason the pitch. Got it down low and the bases are loaded. First pitch inside the zone to Nate Garth. Same with the second. Ben Mason on his game to start. Here's the 0-2. Takes ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Wings through it and down he goes! Swings through it for the first strike. He started at first base all 4 games this series. Taken down the middle for strike 2. Swings through it. They're calling it a foul. He's got to hurry over to first. Couldn't get there in time. Here's Lazinski, looking to get it back within 1. That's a good place to start. Takes the second one up high for ball 2. Swings through it for strike 1. Taken outside, ball 3. That's weak contact, and the count is full. Full count. Ground ball. He's got to hurry. Can he get there in time? He cannot. Pops it up into foul territory. Lines it into the fence again. Davis looking to put it away. Here's the 1-2. Got him! Edwards, throw on to first, is in time! What a play by Reese Edwards! A web gem from the rookie.
Stay up. Go. Come on. Go get it.
First pitch to Larkin is a called strike.
Ready? One more. Up front. Hey, one out.
And a foul ball off the second pitch. Ben Mason is on fire in the fifth. Here's the 0-2. Could have gone either way, but ball was probably the right call there. Here's the 1-2. Taken down low again. Two. Fouled, and Olfert's in a bit of discomfort.
Oh, no, up there. Do my friend message.
Here comes the 2-2. Mason, the pitch. Got him! Willis Takahashi takes strike one looking. Here's the 0-1. Swings through it again. Olfert shaken up. He's had a rough outing so far. He's had to battle both his glove and the rain. As the umpire gives him a pat on the back. Here's the 0-2 from Mason. Into the fence. Here's the 0-2. Swing and drive, going out to center field. Underneath it, McLaughlin! 3 up. looking. Here's the 0-1. Taken down the bottom corner. One. Fouled into the fence. Here comes the 1-2. Bouncing ball. Fisher's got to hurry. Fielded by Nishida. The throw onto first. Well. Takes it inside for strike one. Looked like it was gonna be a second strike for a moment. Can't say I agree with that one, especially with how close it was to last. 2-1 from Davis. Bouncing ball, he's got to hurry. Fielded by McKenzie at second. Throw on to first in time again. It's the first offering from Davis up high.
Let's go out.
Bouncing ball, fielded at third, long throw onto first. Ball one caught. Bouncing ball, fielded at short, the throw on to first. Little difficulty getting there, but it's a put out all the same for Ryder Duncan. This VIU infield has shown great chemistry. You see the two middle infielders. James Joyce at shortstop, Reese Edwards at second base. They formed great chemistry with Ryder Duncan over the past few at-bats as Nathan Webb winds it into left, going back, and it drops near the warning track. Webb on his way to second, and he's going to stand there. A standing double for Nathan Webb.
Change defense, here we go.
Mariners have been susceptible to the long ball before. That's something Tetsunishita realizes as he swings through it for strike one. Here's the 0-1 from Mason. Right down the middle for strike two.
Defense, here we go.
Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball, fielded by Edwards. First in time.
Good job, boys. Keep it up. Come on now, Ben.
Go, Will, go!
All right, defense, here we go. Wrap this up.
Good job, Ben. Go, hard.
Here's Will Turner. First pitch is a ball.
Find it now, Ben. You got it.
2-0 the count on Turner. Swing and a drive into center. That's going to bring Webb home and an RBI single for Will Turner.
Let's go.
Three-run deficit, and the Mariners find themselves in. And there's a pop-up into center. McLaughlin going underneath it. He makes the catch to retire the side. Takes ball one from Davis. Second pitch on the way, also called a ball. There's the 2-0. Bouncing ball fielded. Garth bobbles it, still able to get to it in time for the putout. He's threat for strike one. Swings through it again for strike two. Sean Davis has been out there just about all game. Todd Hubka has no plans on pulling him anytime soon, and I don't blame him. He's been dealing today. Bouncing foul ball past the third base line.
Look in right here, kid. Here you go, kid. Good.
Takes it up high for ball one. Here's the 1-2 from Davis. Swinging a pop up into the cash fence.
Jim.
1-2. Fouled off again. Here's the 1-2. Got him! Takes strike one looking.
Let's go, Toe.
Ball one from a similar spot.
Let's go, Toe. What's over right here, kid?
Here's the 1-1. Lines it foul. Swings through it for strike three. Hour. Bounce. Oh, one from Bauer. Inside the zone again. Hot start for Jordan Bauer. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball just inside the line. Throw all the way from third. It's thrown away. And Lascelles got room to run to second. He doesn't even need to slide.
Let's go.
Here's Matt Larkin. Bouncing ball. Joyce able to snag it. Tried to throw it to third. Gotta get it back. Wasn't in time, and runners back on the corners for PBA. They've been in this situation a couple times, and usually they end up loading the bases. Well, it's Takahashi looking to keep that streak going.
Good job, man. One out.
Yeah, with it. Go, baby.
First pitch from Bauer. Swinging a pop up into foul territory. Duncan underneath it, and he makes the catch. Jack Mortimer, the pinch runner for PBA, thought about trying to get home, but he didn't want to take any chances. Hayden McKenzie trying to keep it alive for PBA. And bring home one run, potentially more, as he awaits the first pitch from Bauer. Fouled into the padding. Here's the 0-1. And they're trying to steal home. Throw back to Alford. He is out! Jack Moore. Fit first. He comes right into the lineup. And on the first pitch he sees, he bunts his way to a base. He's got to hurry. Bowie safe at second. Lazinski doesn't have the same luck at first. Are they calling this a foul ball? They are.
Second base up's calling him. Are you kidding me, man?
Tyler Lazinski lives to fight another day. The 0-1. Swinging a high fly ball going back to left foul territory. Three outfielders converge on it, but it's all the way past the fence. Two eventful fouls for Lazinski. Here's the 0-2. Taken outside for ball one. One, two. Swings through it and down he goes. Hard-hitting third baseman. First pitch. And a line drive, but foul. Here's the 0-1. Taken inside for strike two. Here's the 0-2. Inside! And McPherson. First pitch from Bavis, swung on, hit to short, and the gentle jog over to Sean Bavis, a complete game. And the Mariners will begin their season 1-3. Still in the hunt for that last playoff spot. But the road there is arduous. They'll be back in action next week to take on their rivals down south in the Victoria Golden Tide. So until next time, for Adam Blaney and the rest of our crew at Game Changer, I'm Caleb Green saying so long, and we'll see you next time. Great.
Doubleheader just last night.
I got that now.
Guess we must have agreed to send them before the game.
Yeah, must have, yeah.
Would have been nice to know. I would have booked a different ferry.
Yeah, so what?